Thanks for tuning in. This is Giving You a Taste. I'm Chef Sullivan, chef and owner of Give'Em A Taste Catering out of the Bay Area. And today I have a menu for you. It's all about using your hands. I have 3 menu options to start. The first one is a sweet and spicy chicken wing that you will most definitely have to lick your fingers for. We have a wonderful main dish, which is a seafood bouillabaisse with French bread with a compound butter, garlic butter. It's to die for with fresh seafood, a tomato base, and a wine sauce that will take it over the top. And last but not least, we have a wonderful, easy dessert, 4 to 5 ingredient desserts. We have a peach tart with a whiskey reduction sauce that we're cooking up for you today. So I hope you sit back and enjoy, and let's get cooking. I have here 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs that I've marinated in Italian dressing for about 30 minutes. I have a seasoning blend of salt and pepper. I have some garlic powder, some onion powder in here, and we're going to make our skewers. I have 2 more ingredients to add that I'm going to add. I'm going to add some cayenne pepper for the spice. You can adjust the spice level however hot you want it. I also have the sriracha chili sauce that I'm going to add to this, and that's going to give it a little sweetness and a little spiciness as well. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to mix it in with my hands, and I also have here the 4 skewers that I've soaked for about 30 minutes so they won't burn. So I'm going to mix this in, and then I'm going to skewer the chicken. So it has a rich color. I wish you can smell this with all the spices and everything that's going on in here. And so as I mix, like I say, I marinated the chicken already in the Italian dressing for about 30 minutes so to give it the flavor. So I'm going to take the skewers that I soaked and I'm going to start to make the skewers. And you can overlap and under, put as many pieces as you like to your liking. This one I'm going to do 3. Get my pan so I can lay them down, and you lay them down in the pan, and I have my oven going at 380 degrees, and they will go in the oven for about maybe 30-35 minutes on a pretty high temperature, and it shouldn't take long at all. They're boneless and skinless, so it should cook pretty fast. So I'm gonna do 3 on this one as well. And remember, anytime you're dealing with raw chicken, please, anything that's around the area, make sure it doesn't get on anything around the area, because we don't need any cross-contamination. These skewers are great for any barbecue, great for any event that you may have, any party, baby shower, even a wedding. Skewers are down, and remember to always wash your hands. We don't need any cross-contamination. Get a little in any surface area that you may come in contact with raw chicken or anything. Please, by all means, wash your hands, okay? And wash any areas there. And I'm going to flip my board so we don't have any contamination. And we have our chicken skewers all skewed and ready to go. I have the oven on at 380 degrees. We're going to put them in and let them cook and see how they do for about 30-35 minutes. Alrighty, it's been about 35 minutes. The skewers should be done. Let's pull them out and see how they look, guys. Amazing. Wow, I have a little plate here with a little parsley, because it's always, we eat with our eyes before we eat with our taste buds. So let's add them on here. I have a little some more of the sriracha chili sauce we're gonna add on top to give it a little more flavor, and who doesn't like sauce? And so, here we go. So next, coming up, we have our next dish, and so I'll see you in a second. And so we're back. We are getting ready to get started on our seafood bouillabaisse, guys. This dish, sort of like a poor man's meal, poor man's stew, a fisherman's stew, like a cioppino. It is a tomato-based dish, and it has a plethora of seafood in it. We have some beautiful shrimp here. We have a beautiful piece of cod. We have some wonderful mussels. We have some beautiful clams. We have a beautiful leek, some onions. We have some garlic. We're going to get this started, the seafood bouillabaisse. So first, I have my pot here. It's on about a medium-high heat. I'm going to add maybe about a teaspoon of butter and some olive oil. I'd say about a tablespoon of olive oil. So we're gonna let this come up to heat a little bit. And this dish here is actually the alternative to the dish that I'm paying homage to, which is a bouillon. A bouillon is a Creole dish, tomato-based as well, that my grandmother, who actually is the reason why I am a cook, used to cook this bouillon with catfish heads. And so if you can imagine being 10, seeing some catfish heads sauteing in the sauce, it can be a bit shocking. So not lacking any flavor, the bouillon, but I just couldn't quite grasp it. So this is a seafood bouillabaisse paying homage to the bouillon. And we have our olive oil and our butter coming up at temperature, and I'm going to saute some onions. So we have the onions here sauteing down a little bit till they're a little translucent, and with that I'm going to add in some red bell pepper here, just to saute it down a little bit so we can get some flavor in with these onions. And you always have to remember, we're seasoning on every level. So I'm going to add a little sea salt here, a little black pepper. We have some onion powder. We have some garlic powder. So we're just going to let this come together a little bit, guys, and we're going to saute this up till it's soft. Turn the heat up a little bit. We're just going to let this work. Now, the back history of this dish, like I said, it's paying homage to a bouillon, which my grandmother used to make. Pretty much the same ingredients. We have the onions, we have bell pepper, we have some garlic, and we also have some leeks. I'm also going to add some leeks into this as well. These leeks have been cut up, washed, and all the sand. You have to remember, you have to clean your leeks. So just put them in a bowl, cut them up, and you just let the sand just drop to the bottom. I have some garlic I'm gonna add to this as well, but I'm gonna let this saute a little bit down, and then we're gonna add the garlic. But you can smell these onions and these leeks and these bell peppers, just almost like the Holy Trinity. So we're gonna let that saute down a little bit. And so just a little backstory still about this dish. My grandmother, who again, I'm paying homage to, is the reason why I am a cook. She took me on a culinary journey, and that's why I started my catering company, Give'Em A Taste Catering. And I pay homage to different menus and different items, different food choices that I've had throughout my life. So on our website, taste.us, you can find different items from different food that I've experienced throughout my life, and I pay homage to people and by putting their names on certain recipes in our website. So these peppers and these onions and these leeks are coming together very nicely. They're cooking down. We have to let this saute down a little bit longer, let these leeks get soft and also melt down in here with the peppers. Everything is coming along great. And to this, where we're adding, one thing that I'm adding that my grandmother didn't add is I'm using white wine. And the white wine is going to give it that robust flavor that it's kind of hard to explain. You won't taste the wine, but the flavor will be there. And we're also adding some clam juice just to continue to add the flavor of the sea. Since we do have a plethora of seafood items, the clam juice will just bring it all together and just, it's going to be great. So that's coming together very well. So now I'm going to add I would say about a half a cup of some just regular white wine, any wine that you would drink. It has to be a wine that you would actually pour in a bottle and drink. Don't add anything that you wouldn't pour in a cup and drink. So we have here about a half a cup of wine, and we're gonna let that cook down as well. And with that, I'm going to add some clam juice. And this is maybe about 3/4 cups of clam juice. And we're going to let this just come together. And we're going to cook the white wine out of it. And then also we're going to taste as we go. And we see what the taste level is here. Let's see. Perfect, beautiful. But we're going to add a little Old Bay to this, just to continue the flavor. I am going to put a little cayenne pepper, because I like a little spice. Keeps you on your toes. So this is coming together quite nicely, guys. You can smell the wine and the onion and the garlic on here. I wish you can smell it. It smells really good. It's cooking down really nicely. Has a good consistent boil here. So we're going to let this cook down a little bit. We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. So we're back. Thanks for joining us. Our peppers and our leeks are cooking down. They're beautifully soft. So now I'm going to add in some garlic to bring this all together. And I put the garlic in kind of at the last moment before I move on to the next ingredient, which is the tomatoes. I just want the garlic to sort of permeate the peppers and the onions and the leeks with the strong of the wine, because all of the wine is cooked out. So just a strong concentration of wine that's left. So now we have our San Marzan tomatoes. I have about a 28-ounce can of San Marzan tomatoes that I'm going to add to this. And we're going to integrate this and let that come together. And again, we're still seasoning on every level. I'm going to add some more onion powder. We're going to add some more garlic powder and a little dry basil. That's going to give it that extra flavor that you want to wonder what that taste is, and that's going to be the basil. So I'm going to let this come together. Turn the fire up a little bit. And so this is going to cook down for about maybe say about 3 to 4 minutes, and it's going to come together, and then that's where we're going to start layering the flavors. We're going to add in our clams, our mussels, and we're going to let that come together and let that come in and cook. And so now we have our clams and our mussels. And our clams and our mussels, do you know the secret into choosing clams and mussels and knowing if they're well? First off, they must be closed. If you have any clams or mussels that are open, don't use them. That means they're no good. And also, after we cook them, if they don't open, that means they're no good. So we have to make sure that those are good to go. We have some beautiful shrimp here that are peeled in the vein, and they're going to go in and about the last 8 to 10 minutes with this beautiful piece of cod that we have here that's going to go in. That's just going to bring all of these seafood flavors together with this wine and this garlic and this tomatoes. It's just going to be outstanding. So now let me check and see how everything is going on back here. Everything is coming along beautifully. The tomatoes are cooking down with the peppers and the onions. If you can smell this, guys, you can, if you had actually just had some crostini or some toast, you can toast some bread and you can spread this on there. For my vegetarians or eaters that don't eat meat, this is a great dish you can use, tomato dish you can use with bread, any French bread. That we are going to use a French bread that's going to go with this seafood bouillabaisse. It has some garlic and parsley, and it's going to be very good. You can actually dip it in the sauce. So this is coming together really well. It's boiling really good. Turn the fire up a little bit. We get a little roll and boil going in here. So once we get a roll and boil going in here, this is where I'm going to start the process of adding in our mussels and all of our seafood to give it that flavor. So let's start off with our clams. And these have been washed and cleaned, so they are ready to go. Set them right in there. Next we have our mussels. And you could just arrange them any kind of way. I'll show you when we do plate the dish how you can jazz it up a little bit and make it look to where it's like I say, we eat with our eyes before we do our mouth. Okay, so I'm gonna let these cook down in the tomato sauce. I would say I would let them cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. It's not going to take long. They're going to cook through, and when they pop open, that's when you know they're good and they're done. So this is coming together real nicely, guys. You see that there? If you can smell this. Oof. We have one that's actually mussel that's actually trying to open. So we're moving right along. We're doing great here. And so now, since this is cooking down, I'm gonna let this cook down for about, I said another about 5-6 minutes. Let this come, boil maybe some of the clams and the mussels open up. And we're gonna take a little break and we'll be right back. We have the rest of our ingredients to add in. I hope you stick around. And we're back. Thanks for staying tuned. So we have our seafood bouillabaisse going. As you can see here, our mussels and our clams are opening up beautifully. So we chose a good batch. So now we're going to add in these beautiful shrimp. And I'm going to layer them right on top of here. And they are going to add another flavor to this seafood bouillabaisse that you can't really explain. And also with that, I'm going to add in, I have a beautiful piece of cod here, about a 4-ounce piece of cod that is going to give you another layer of seafood flavor. So I'm going to nestle that right into there. Let that come together. If you guys could smell this, it is ridiculous. So we're going to let that come together. Look at the colors in here, guys. It's beautiful, the colors. They say we eat with our eyes before we eat with our palates. So as this comes together, we have some garlic toast that I'm going to add with this that we're going to put in the oven. We're going to spread it with some butter, some garlic, and some parsley, and cook it on about a 400-degree oven for just until crispy for about 4 to 6 minutes. And we're going to use that bread to dip inside of this beautiful tomato sauce, and that go good with it. You can actually put pasta. You can make some pasta. You have angel hair. We have fettuccine that you can boil and add to this. You can eat it over rice. You can eat it over couscous. Total variety of items that you can eat it with that will go with anything. Or just with as is that we're going to do today. We're going to do with the French bread. Now, as this coming together, I'm gonna put a lid on this, okay? And we're gonna let this cook down until the seafood gets tender and cooked for about 3 to 4 minutes, because we still want to bite on the shrimp. We still want our cod to stay whole and just to take on the flavor of the bouillabaisse. So we're gonna let this come together, and then we're gonna take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to work on this garlic bread with a great garlic butter and parsley spread. So stay tuned and we'll be back after this. So we're back. We have our seafood bouillabaisse that's done now. I've turned the fire off, and when I tell you guys, this smell of this bouillabaisse is ridiculous. We have some of the mussels that open up. You can see the rich broth. You can see the beautiful shrimp we have here, the beautiful piece of cod. Let's plate it. Let's get some of this beautiful sauce. Some of our mussels that opened up. We have some beautiful clams that have opened up. Let's put it together, guys. Let's get some of these beautiful shrimp. Some beautiful cod here. Right. We can't go wrong with this sauce. Look at this sauce. Look at that. Alrighty. So, let's clean this up a little bit, guys. We got our beautiful bouillabaisse here. Around there. Let's give it a little look. See how we can do it, guys. And here I have some French bread that I made a compound butter, garlic compound butter, and just chopped up some garlic, minced some garlic, just regular butter, put it on about a 395-degree oven for about 4 or 5 minutes. And we'll use that to sit there inside of the bouillabaisse. So here we have our seafood bouillabaisse with a beautiful piece of cod. We have some wonderful mussels and clams, some beautiful shrimp, and a great piece of French bread. So hope you stick around. I have one more dish for you guys. I have a wonderful dessert that you can make in your home oven to come out like a pastry chef that you've been going to school for a long time. But stick around and we'll be back. Thank you. Thanks for sticking around, guys. We're back. I have a quick dessert for you guys that we're going to do today. It's just a simple 3 to 4 ingredient dessert. Puff pastry, peaches, butter, and brown sugar. Just take normal store-bought puff pastry, and you take a strip and make sure it's defrosted, so you can leave it out maybe the day before and let it get soft so you can it's pliable. And you just take a sheet and then you cut it long ways, and then when I actually doubled them. So let's see how big this pillow can get, okay? And So you just take some peaches. I have just some regular peaches that I've sliced, and along with a brown sugar mixture that I made. It's just brown sugar, allspice, and cinnamon. And so that's what I sprinkled with 2 pads of butter. And also we have the egg wash here that we use just to put around the edges, just to give it a little golden brown. And so when it's baking, it will come through. It will just be very well. So I have a preheated oven at about 365 degrees. We're going to put it in there and get it baking. And so we're going to let those bake for maybe about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how golden brown there is. So we're going to take a short break. Hope you stick around, and let's see when we get back. Alrighty guys, and we're back. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying tuned in. We have our peach tarts that are ready to go. They're out of the oven. Let's plate them. They are still a little hot, but that's okay. So in this pan here that I have here, I have a little reduction. It is some Jack Daniel's whiskey, some brown sugar, and butter, simply. So that is going to be our drizzle, okay? We're just gonna take and simply just drizzle right on top of there, guys. And there you have it. We have a peach tart with a whiskey reduction. Simple, easy dessert. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you try it. It's simple ingredients, anybody can bake. So, recapping what we have here, guys. We have our sweet and spicy chicken skewers for our appetizer. We have our main dish, which is our seafood bouillabaisse and our garlic compound butter toast. And last but not least, we have our dessert. We have our peach tarts, which is, I think I'm gonna start with dessert, guys, then I'm gonna try the bouillabaisse. Let's give it a test. Ridiculous. Maybe I should have took a bigger bite, but excellent, guys. Let's try this bouillabaisse. Ridiculous. Thanks for joining us. Again, thanks for allowing me to give you a taste, and look for you to come back and join us soon. Bye, guys.